This guy will continue to follow that situation. It's our Calgary Flames reporter, Salim Valji. Salim, great to see you, pal. The Ryan Huska contract extension, based on how well this team has played under him, it doesn't seem like a surprise that Conroy would want to extend him. Why do you think Huska is such a good fit for this Flames roster?
Yeah, Jay, I think for a few reasons. Number one, they overachieved so much last season. You can say it's because of Nazem Kadri or Dustin Wolf, but I think it's a culture that's defense first, that's selfless. Players that I've spoken to recently speak to two things. Number one, he is a very honest and upfront communicator. You know where you stand with him, and that's critical in today's era where young players have so much sway and are so important to organizations. And the second thing, Jay, is simply he's a hockey nerd. And Rasmus Andersson and I were speaking about that a few days ago, where he's constantly tweaking his systems. He's constantly learning, whether it's what Vegas is doing or another organization. They love playing for him. And Blake Coleman told me that, he's a guy that you're very, very likely to go to battle with because you know where you stand and you just love coming to the rink because you're being led by that type of human being. Players are really happy. He led the stretch this morning, and he joked that, hey, if I got down on the stretch, I wouldn't be able to get back up. But the guys gave him stick taps, and I think up and down the organization, this is a really good move. And for a Calgary Flames squad that has some notable veterans, they are all in with this as well. I think this is a really good fit for both sides. And Jay, should he coach out that contract, he will have coached the most games in Flames franchise history, which is pretty hard to believe.
Wow, that's incredible to think about. Now, that's the good news if you're a Flames fan. I don't want to say the Rasmus Andersson situation is bad news. It could end up being good news for Flames fans. It's just very uncertain at this point. We don't know if Andersson's going to stick around, sign a contract extension, which Darren Dreger said is still a potential possibility. It seems more likely that he'll probably be traded. This team has dealt with this kind of situation before, Salim, as you know. How is the team handling the uncertainty right now?
I think they're joking about it. Mackenzie Weegar has jokingly called him a distraction during media availabilities for his part. And it's funny, right? Like, think about what they went through a couple of years ago with Elias Lindholm and Chris Tanev and Noah Hanifin. It was taboo to talk about contracts back then, but Michael Backlund kind of opened the Pandora's box when he made pretty blunt comments to the Athletic during the summer that we obviously is going to get traded. And it's just funny. Rasmus is probably one of my favorite athletes I've ever covered. Like, he's just such a fascinating and interesting human being to me. He's such an important part of this organization. And it's always ironic to me, Jay, when I see him tutoring Zane Parekh during practices, because Parekh could be the key defenseman in the future. They both play on the same side. And Parekh is eventually going to want those top power play minutes that Andersson also wants. So it's always fascinating to me. A weird analogy, Jay, but I think this is like Ross and Rachel in Friends. Were they on a break? Were they not? I don't know. No one knows. But until the series ends, you still think there's a chance. And I think there's such a nice love between both the Flames and Andersson that I'm not ready to rule it out. Huska constantly talks about him as a key leader in helping create that culture that nearly propelled him to the playoffs last season. So it's kind of like Ross and Rachel. Like, do we really think the door is ultimately closed? I definitely don't. But either way, when the time comes, I'm gonna miss dealing with that guy. And I think the way they're joking about it, I think a lot of his teammates will miss him too should he get dealt. But I'm not ready to close the door quite yet.
That's fair. This team, the Calgary Flames, will begin their season in Edmonton against their provincial rivals on Wednesday. And this is our Calgary Flames reporter, Salim Valji.